Yo, what's up, all my truth seekers out there? It's your boy Krayzie Bone.
I'm the California bum, Keef G.
And welcome back to Truth Talks. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Truth Talks.
Yes.
It's about to go down, you know what I'm saying? It's been a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Like it always is, you know what I'm saying? But we back, and we got a very, very serious,
Oh, man.
controversial
That one right here.
topic. This topic actually been controversial and serious for a long time. If you've paid attention to it. A lot of people, it's been flying under the radar with a lot of people because, you know.
This is something it's been going on through, I don't even know if people call it religious wars or whatever way. It's been, before civilization pretty much came about, this has been something that has been, a thought process about, whether to keep or not keep your child.
Basically, and that's what we're talking about this evening, y'all. We're talking about abortion. I'm sure everybody has been hearing about it all over the news. Recently, I think a few states like Alabama, Florida, Ohio, Tennessee, they've all incorporated this law. If not, they're looking to incorporate it within their state. And it's just bringing a lot of Mississippi. Thank you, Fam Squad. It's just bringing a lot of attention to the media. It's waking up a lot of people. A lot of people is saying their rights are being imposed upon.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's so it's so touchy and it's so crazy. I said we had to talk about this because
it is, man.
It's perfect for our show, baby. The Truth Talks, and I just been hearing like a lot of. I've been hearing a lot of crazy. I've been hearing like people's just crazy outlooks on this whole situation.
Man.
So that's why I just wanted to talk about it on our show.
Yo, some of them views got me from Capitol Hill, Jack, man.
Yeah. It is. It's so crazy, like because first and foremost, I hear what a lot of the women are saying.
Right.
A lot of the women are they're saying that their rights are being imposed upon, and it's really a touchy situation because if we really go deep and we look at it from not just a human standpoint, but as we always do on Truth Talks, we look at it from a godly standpoint as well.
Yeah.
Because those two things go hand in hand.
Always.
People may not think so, but they do. They go hand in hand.
There's no other way for them to think.
Here on Truth Talks, we're going to break it all the way down. Keep it 100. Now, I know it's a lot of people out there, particularly women, that feel like they have the right to make their own decisions when it comes to their body,
right,
when it comes to this abortion situation. And to a certain extent, I understand what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But I wanna start off first by asking you, how do you feel about the whole abortion thing, just in general, just off the top?
I think, I think the creation of abortion, I think the first person that ever said, you know what, let's make it a law to be able to get rid of a child if this and that, I think they was the sick person from the beginning. Because sometimes I think that if you never had an idea for something or a terrible choice, you wouldn't even choose that. So to put this choice into effect, into a law kind of situation, not to a lawless society, but to a society that has law. So to add this to that, when you make a law, it makes people think that something's legal. So, say you got a young child or whatever it is, and they fall under this law that they can do it, and it's like legal, so there's no jail time or nothing like that, to kind of minimize the seriousness of what this kind of thing is. What I'm saying in short, this thing should have never been offered as an alternative. So for the lawmakers that put this up to be as an alternative way to, unless now, I understand if someone's been raped, like we said before, or incest or things like that. But for this to be like into your decision type of category, this was some bullshit to ever be made, man.
Right. So you're saying that you're against abortion,
Yeah.
but with the exception of those rape victims and incest and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I do realize that that's a woman. She may not want, even though, of course, God could bless anything, but it'll be hard for me to convince that woman that the rapist that you're gonna that raped you or whatever, now you conceived a child and then he looks exactly, if you remember, you know, like the rapist or whatever, or maybe have ways of him or a certain scent of him will make you hate the child. I don't know how many children are hated by women that have had the child from someone who has raped them before. So I don't know how that dynamic works, or there may be love there, but it's to force a woman to have the child still, I think that's kind of crazy.
I'm gonna say this before I say how I feel about it, but I think it's very important for us to talk about this topic because a lot of women are speaking out. But I think it's also good for men to speak out too, because here's what I see. I see a lot of women saying, you know, that this is my body. This is my body. I have the right to do what I want. But you didn't conceive that child by yourself. So the man that's involved,
right? Yeah,
should have the same equal rights.
Oh yeah.
Especially if he's a willing participant, he should have those same rights to say, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because it's like because a man contributes half of what's going on in a pregnancy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's being talked about like men just don't have no say-so in this at all. Like people talking about men trying to tell women what to do, but men have a part in this regardless.
Oh, yeah, that's 50-50.
Men have a part in this, so you can't just push the man out like, don't tell me what to do, because you got pregnant by a man.
Oh, yeah.
No other woman got you pregnant.
Oh, no.
You got pregnant by a man, so the man is involved in this.
100%.
Yes, he's definitely involved. So with that being said, that's why I want to approach this issue tonight, you know what I'm saying? And how I feel, this is how I feel. Now, I must say.
Talk to us, bro.
I must say that I am against abortion. You know, I know that my view may offend a lot of women, but I'm going to break it down.
Let it be broke. For
the reasoning, like for my opinion, as we go on when it comes to the abortion whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of different reasons. And I want to, basically, I want to go over the reasons, you know, the most popular reasons people have abortions, women have abortions.
Right.
And just talk about them to see if they're really valid, if they're really valid reasons to have an abortion.
Okay.
Because like the thing to me is, it bothers me when women use it as a last minute contraceptive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so like, let's look at some of the reasons people have abortions. Okay, one is a female may feel like she's too young or not ready to have it, or not ready to have a baby.
Okay.
I call that the not mature enough underage reason.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We see this scenario way too often when a young girl or young woman being promiscuous.
Yeah, yeah.
And having unprotected sex. Now, for the young promiscuous underage girl, she has no business having sex in the first place. That's where that problem lies right there. You know what I'm saying? And for the woman that's out just having sex, unprotected sex, we all know by the time you're old enough to have sex, you understand very well the consequences and repercussions if you don't have if you have unprotected sex. We know what results from this. You can get pregnant.
Yeah.
Along with that, diseases come.
Yeah, diseases, everything.
But we're going to just talk about pregnancy. You know you can get pregnant if you're having unprotected sex. So the answer and solution is very simple to me. don't have unprotected sex.
Yeah.
There are many options out there. Birth control, condoms, all different kind of things that can prevent the pregnancy from even happening. I don't think that's a valid excuse to where I'm too young to have a baby. I'm mature. No, you should have thought about that shit before you laid down on that bed and opened up your legs. I'm just not talking to the woman. I'm talking to the dude too. Because like I said, you don't get out of this, nigga. You don't get out of it. It's on both of y'all. The two people that laid down and had that baby, I don't care what you were thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, you weren't thinking responsibly.
Nah.
Because just because you decided to have unprotected sex and be irresponsible and you conceived a child, why should that unborn child have to miss out on his life because you want to have sex and just be promiscuous? Like,
dog, that's some of the things that and I'm gonna lie, those are some of the things that we do not think about when we starting to undress. You know what I'm saying? I wish that we would. Because those are the kind of factors that factor into a family. You know what I'm saying? A whole, you're dealing with people that you just met. Most of these occasions we talking about right now, we talking about, I know you from 0 to 9 months, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might know you for a few hours sometimes when we may have conceived a kid or something like that. You know, had heated passion and this and that. Now we dealing with a child. And I don't even I don't even care for you. So now the welfare of the child of that being and growing up is going to be something different. That's why a lot of people decide to pull that parachute cord, which is not the right thing to do.
Right.
But that's the thing that just ends it real quick.
Right. And it's really like I said, it's really not a valid. It's really not a valid solution. You know what I'm saying, to have an abortion. Is how I feel. Now that's just one of the reasons. Another reason is they may not want to have it because they're no longer with the alleged father of the child and they don't want to be a single parent. I call this the can't afford a child reasoning. Now, I'm sorry, ladies, but I feel like this is very weak reasoning as well. Because again, it's not the child's fault. The relationship didn't work out. Life happens. And at the end of this whole thing, I'm gonna break it down to where one law that if we followed, then all this would be obsolete, but we don't follow it, so that's a whole other story. But I don't feel like that's a reason to just do away with the child. I've heard women say that, it didn't work out with me and the father, so I just went here and had an abortion. That's not a good reason. That's really not a good reason. I've also heard some women say, well, I didn't want to have a baby because the baby might have reminded me too much of the father. And I'm not bullshitting. I've heard women say this. I've heard women say this thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, are these the reasons? Because I've been hearing women talking about like these things, like saying that they want their rights and stuff. But I want to hear good valid reasons for getting an abortion. Like, I understand, and we're going to get into that. I understand, like the being raped thing. I totally agree with that. I understand that completely. You know what I'm saying? And when those things happen, it's kind of like in God's hands. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to talk about that because I want to go back to that. But as far as like a person leaving, like the relationship not working out, and you get an abortion because of that, I mean, shit, a nigga can leave you after the baby is fucking 6 years old and they can get up and leave. What you gonna do? Like, put the baby up for abortion?
And they howdy real quick.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't understand it. Like some of these excuses they don't weigh heavy enough to balance out taking a life.
You know what they
Like
use, though, Leatherface?
them little punk ass excuses, like them little punk ass excuses though, like for real, like
I think they're what you say they are, and not that we on no soapbox, even though we on digital soapbox, but they're not excuses. These are things that people just say, and you know what I'm saying, they don't weigh up a good enough because they are excuses. They're exactly what you're saying. They're not valid reasons of why you should end somebody's life. They're things that we make ourselves feel a little bit better at the beginning and the end of the day. These are things that we tell ourselves and tell other people. I don't want to do it because of this way, or I'm going to do it because of that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say other than rape or incest, I don't think there is a valid reason. And even those are kind of touchy because the Lord can bless any kind of thing, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as like, you know, just by being your choice, I'm too young. I don't feel like doing this and that. Like my man say, if you old enough to lay down real quick, and you know, laying down has a little experience with it. It ain't that fast as people would want to make it seem. So sometimes, you know, you may slow down and say, am I ready for this? Am I ready for what comes with this? It feels good, yes. And I hope people listening to this right now, because there is two sides to this. Because sex does feel good. Nigga, that feels good.
Real talk.
That's one of the best feelings I ever had on this earth is walking around. As far as like a physical feeling, that's a dope feeling right there. But used in the proper context, it makes it even doper. You know what I'm saying? So when you're doing it and you're not a little bit ready, these are the things that can happen. Your man gonna tell you, I want to have an abortion, or you gonna tell yourself that because you don't want your parents to find this and that out.
Yeah, that's another reason too. That was the next reason, you know, is because sometimes the alleged father may force or threaten the female to have an abortion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the lame nigga reason. Right there. That's what I call it. That's the lame nigga reason. For real. Because,
that's true though.
You know, and like, you know, look, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that, you know, women get into these relationships with these dudes, and these dudes be what they call, these dudes be straight assholes, like when it comes to this situation, you know, but again, you know, you have to pay for your actions. Even if you were tricked and deceived, even if this dude tricked and deceived you like it was going to be all good, and it turned out you chose to trust this dude. Now, it may not be your fault, but you choosing to trust this dude is going to fall on you at the end of the day. Shouldn't fall on the child.
It definitely can't.
Shouldn't fall on the unborn child, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm just bringing these up. I'm just bringing these scenarios up because I've actually heard these scenarios actually be the cause or the case to get an abortion.
Me too.
That I'm not just pulling this out the hat, but this is definitely true. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I'm seeing, you know, all this stuff on TV and all these celebrities out here, oh, women should have their rights to do it. Nigga, do you even know what you talking about? Or are you just trying to be on the camera promoting your shit?
Word.
That's what all these niggas be doing, for real. Niggas just be promoting their shit. Don't even know what the fucking issue really is. Niggas just talking. Just cause niggas put a camera in front of these niggas, they just talking, don't know shit.
Got a movie coming out next week.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like these niggas out here, oh, women should have it. Nigga, you don't even know what you're talking about. So it should be a right to kill babies for invalid reasons. For invalid reasons, though. Invalid reasons is what I'm saying.
It's been promoted for a long time, man.
We don't, and women, y'all can be mad at me. Y'all can be mad at me. But at the end of the day, keeping it real, I'm not here to please y'all. Only person I have to please is God. I'm not here to tickle your ears and tell you, oh, it's good if that's the reason. It's good if you fuck that nigga, go ahead and get that. No, I'm not gonna tell you that, because the reasons the reasons is happening again, they not valid. I don't care what I say this all the time. I don't care what human beings say.
Talk to us.
Human beings do not have the same thinking capability as God.
Period.
They don't know how to solve the problems in the long run like God.
Nah.
They want to be God, but they're far from God.
Yeah.
You know, what they're doing now to change the law, it ain't even some godly stuff they're on. They're not trying to bring this abortion law in because, oh, we've all of a sudden found God.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's morally wrong and da-da-da. No. They have a totally different agenda. I'm not riding with them. They have a totally different agenda.
21.
So what they should have done in the first place, like we was talking about earlier, this abortion thing never should have been introduced to people in the first place. They never should have felt like they had that luxury to do that in the first place. But this is a life. I don't care how you look at it. Do you know that there is a God made laws that if you accidentally hurt a pregnant woman and caused her unborn child to die, you had to pay with your life. So that right there tells you how God feels about an unborn kid.
Oh yeah, man.
That right there alone, he wouldn't waste his time making up laws saying, yo, if y'all happen to get into a squabble and you fighting your dude and y'all accidentally bump her and cause her to lose her child, even if it was an accident, you had to pay. Purposely you doing it? What you think gonna happen?
Yeah, that's a whole nother situation there.
What you think gonna happen if you're doing it purposely?
Word.
See, like I said, human beings, our laws change all the time. Our laws change as the generations come into place.
Yeah.
Oh, that law's old. So what? God's laws don't change. This is where people got it twisted. They don't change.
Nah, man.
You letting these humans say, oh, go ahead and do this. It's illegal. Go ahead and do this. It's illegal. Yeah. But my main thing is this.
Talk to us, face.
How does God look at it? And I'm not coming down on people because I got a lot of stuff I got to change too. And this applies to me as well.
Yeah, but you ain't walking around thinking the things that you, but and at the same time you ain't thinking this is right.
It applies to me as well. So his laws never changed, bro.
Nah.
His laws was put here until time indefinite. Means they're never going to get old. They don't need readjusting because human beings don't change from Adam and Eve till now. The devil ain't even changed his tricks. He ain't got to.
Yeah.
The same shit get us every time.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't got to change this. He ain't got to change his way.
And you got to go into the bag of tricks.
The same trick gets us every time.
Because when you get this, that's what I'm saying, like my man say, when you get to a point where you feel like you can put this into a society to say this is an option. Now, things that I want to put into an option in society, if my car breaks down, I can, instead of having to go to the dealership, I got the option to be able to call a tow truck. Now, that's a good-ass option right there. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, the dealership don't get the money, but that's cool. The tow truck dude going to pick me up and get my car fixed and maybe take me to the dealership. That's an option. That's a great option for something that I don't have a natural plan for in the beginning. But when someone is laying down physically and you're making a child, the option should have never been introduced to a family or a person that we can get rid of this kid real quick if you want us to.
Right.
Once that kind of thing happens like that, you're talking about evil at its finest, evil in concert. And when they say evil in concert, because you've been to a concert and you hear all the instruments playing equally, everything's playing on a beautiful instrument, it's going like that. And that's what evil tries to do. They try to make shit that's abnormal seem normal. Yeah. So now you're talking about, oh, let's just go ahead and take care of this thing real quick. And we've been doing it, and black folks, we've been doing it since the, 40s, 30s, 20s, all that. You know what I'm saying? The little girl that grow up a long time ago, that's your cousin or whatever it is, or she passed away early. Just people got a memory of it too. We're all guilty of these things.
Yeah, true, definitely.
But going on forward with it, We know better. Let's do a little bit better, though. You know what I'm saying? We know now that a fetus is a growing child inside of a woman's womb. So there is no start date. There's after the first day of conception. That's a child that's starting to be grown. I don't care whatever's being grown inside the child is being grown.
And that's another thing. And that's another thing. Just like we were saying, that's the doctors who's also an imperfect human. Those are his assumptions. Those are his theories on when the child is conceived.
Yeah.
He don't know if he's absolutely right.
Hell no.
God is the creator of the human body.
Yeah.
He knows when a child is being conceived.
Yeah.
So to even jump out and risk that, saying, "Oh, this is nigga, shut up, nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. Did you create this person's body? Did you create them? Yep. Did you put a rib about him and make the woman and do all that? Then how is you even speaking on something this is not your creation?" You can study the body and think you know.
Yeah, that's just anatomy they coming up with. They don't
think
know no insight.
You know what I'm saying? But it's really, bro, it's like people is believing man too much. They're putting their trust in man too much, something that God told us not to do.
Yeah.
But we're doing it. Something he told us not to do, but we're doing it.
That's society, what you just said.
And another thing, to let you know, like I said, these politicians, they're not making this law because they certainly had a change of heart. Because I'm looking at the governor of California. I think it's the governor of California, the dude who said he took away the death penalty. He said he suspended the death penalty, so nobody out in California is going to get the death penalty as long as he's in office because he's against it.
Okay.
And I was riding with that dude. I was like, you know what? Because I ain't even with the death penalty.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody has a right to take anybody's life but God.
Period, man. And I know I'll be hurt, and we do not mean to disrespect nobody that would have their family member, you know what I'm saying, would face somebody up to a trial and stuff like that. Because I don't know how I face those shoes, so I can't step into that. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't want to cause nobody to die because my family members did too.
That's not what we. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying. That's not what we. You know what I'm saying, like, we're not disrespecting nobody. I'm keeping it 100. Like, because as a person that don't have a right to take nobody's life, that's how I'm speaking.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so I saw this governor say that he suspended the death penalty here in California for as long as he's in office. But just the other day, the nigga said that women should have their rights to do whatever they want to do with their bodies. So, nigga, you saying the nigga that murdered somebody shouldn't be killed, but the innocent baby, oh, that's cool.
Right.
Nigga, you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah, you can't sell furniture out
this
the front door and the back door, too.
This is what I'm saying. You cannot listen to don't let the system guide your life, because it can never guide you right. I'm telling y'all this. Trust me.
This is the normal.
These niggas act like they know. They're in power. They think they know. They act like they know. But these niggas, look how the White House is right now.
Shit.
Shambles. These niggas is at each other's throat. These are the people that's supposed to be watching over us. But they vision can't even go outside the White House window to even look at the people because they're at each other's throats.
Yeah. Yep.
So by the time it comes to the people, they all fed up. Like, oh, you know, the Democrats is doing this. Oh, fuck the Republicans. They the reason everything. Bruh, we being treated like puppets. We're being treated like we're stupid.
Yeah, man.
Like we're stupid. Like I don't understand when people are going to wake up and stop being treated like we puppets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
No, that's the whole thing is, man. I think that's the way they love to get it at. You know what I'm saying? All this attention to keep on something else. And this is exactly what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? From a woman's body and this and that. Man, of course it's a woman's body. You know what I'm saying? But it goes much further than that kind of thing. These are laws that was made up if a woman never even had to have an abortion. You got people that we're dealing with here, not just in America, but this place that we in. You know what I'm saying? Is this Tyrannosaurus Rex government that we in?
Yeah.
for this future. They want people to have no decision at all. They want to bring you to the climax of terror to be able to act like they're the hero in the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like as if I can control an ant farm. I can make it flood with a glass of water. Then I can make it dry up. You know what I'm saying? If I just wanted to scoop up all the ants out real quick and put them in something else. Because it's just a small thing what I'm dealing with. And that's the same exact thing what they do with us. They put us in a large scale of terror and of different things like this. You know what I'm saying? Just to even give you a choice and try and take your choice back.
Exactly. So now to talk about the ever so controversial reasoning of having an abortion, which is the only reason I can understand. I can understand, but the only reason I can understand and is because I'm human. It's because I'm human. I'm here living with it, and I see what it does to people. You know, when women are raped by a stranger or raped by a family member, and you know, it's unimaginable. I can't even see say that I can only imagine, because I can't. Because we can't be raped and get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? That don't happen to men. So, I mean, for a woman to have to endure something like that and stay strong and just endure something like that, I don't think any man can even begin to be like, you know, oh, we understand. That's why they're making the law, because man don't these politicians, they're insensitive to everything but money.
Oh yeah.
So that's how they operate. They don't give a damn what you're going through. All they want is your vote and your money.
And money and power.
And all y'all motherfuckers, I see y'all on here talking about now, go vote. Vote for fucking what? The same shit that happened by a new nigga?
Yeah.
How long has it been happening? Ever since you've been born. Ever since I've been born.
Pretty much.
I'm quite sure ever since you've been born. So it's like people can say go vote, but some of us people been voting since black people could vote, still getting their ass kicked out in the street, still getting killed down the street.
Man, we watched the same show. Police. The same show.
What does voting do? People act like voting just changes the fucking world. What does voting do? Voting got us Donald Trump. Sure. Voting got us Obama too.
And
but
the structure.
Obama did. See, I don't even want to get into that.
No, I don't even want to. No,
this ain't about the.
I agree with you on all those things. I'm saying the structure.
I don't want to get draped off into the.
No, we supposed to. I agree with you on all this stuff, because I'm saying the structure of voting has got us like that. They make us think that our vote counts. That's what my man trying to say right now. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm knowing what he's saying, but you got 7 people in a room. And you got 7 people vote for one person, and then you got one person vote against those 7 people that got a little bit more power. That one person gonna override those 7 people who came down there to vote,
right? Because
they run the system, G.
Right, and that's what I understand. If what I learned this past election, and I don't even be paying attention to them like that, it is not the people that have the final say so.
No, sir.
So voting for what?
Yep.
Voting for what?
To brush the bubble.
It
you
ain't
know what I'm saying?
Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no, bro. Come on, bro. That's the shit. That's the shit. They blow up your ass, and then they get our people to go out there. Oh, nigga, rock the vote, rap the vote, nigga. Fuck up out of here.
You know what
nigga.
It sounds like, Face?
You got me. Nigga, I ain't rapping shit, but on the mic. Nigga.
It sounds like when you get when they talking about when you buy this car and you get like $2,700 rebate or okay, well you do buy the new car. Never ever gave me $3,500 rebate in my cash. What you mean the cash back? You know what I'm saying? You get these. You know how they say all the small print.
Yeah.
Look, y'all. None of this is nothing what they talking about, man. All that stuff like that, it don't work like that. The voting system, all that, man. And I'm looking for my rebate on the car. Shit.
With all that being said, back to the whole women that's a victim of rape. I definitely I can't say I understand what you're going through, but I can definitely sympathize. Just when I think about it in my head and I hear some of the stories of women that have been raped, of some women that even decided to. We had a woman that called in before when we talked about this.
Yeah.
And she told us that she chose to keep the child.
Yeah.
She chose to keep the child, and she got through it. And, you know, it's a battle because she did say that the nigga was trying to get, the nigga had nerve to try to get rights to see the child.
Yeah.
So I can understand going through all of that and like just dealing with that, you know what I'm saying? But here's my thing. A lot of people may not understand because I see people talking about God didn't write the Bible right now on the Periscope saying, basically, see, this is the thing with me.
Of course he did.
I have a faith that's very, 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 that's very strong when it comes to believing if there is a creator. Can't nobody on this earth, I don't care who you are, get me to deny it or say there. I don't care if you beat me, you shoot me, stab me, I'm not going to say that there is no God.
Word up.
I'll go to the grave for that one because I know there is a God, bottom line. So with that being said, if you not one of those people that have a strong faith in God, that believe that he is, that believe that he calls us to become whatever he wants to become, whatever. If you don't believe this, then of course you're not going to be strong in situations like these.
Nah.
Of course you're not.
Nuh-uh.
Because you got the human, your friend, in your ear, your best friend telling you, oh, nigga, you don't know no more than I know. You're telling me what you would do from emotion.
And from a humanistic standpoint.
From a human standpoint. So therefore, it's like, if you don't have that faith, if you're not knowing, yes. Now, when it comes to rape victims, I choose to step back.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, God can read hearts. I can't read hearts. You know what I'm saying? He know what you're truly going through. I don't know what you're truly going through. He knows. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, if you really, really trust in God and you got faith in God and you believe in him, if you one of those rape victims, and this is what the girl said because she had faith in God. That's why she had the baby.
Did, man.
She had the baby because God is known for taking very, very ugly situations. I mean the ugliest situations you think you would have never come back from.
Ugmo.
And making them the most beautiful situations in your life that you have ever seen. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what it is. I understand what you have to go through, but if you trust in God, then you got to believe that he's going to make it better for you.
Hey, you know what? This real right there with what you're saying, you know, and I'm gonna stop saying.
But hold on, but like I said, I'm still a human being, imperfect human at that. So I can feel, like I said, I can still even though I know what God can do, I still sympathize with the woman that's been raped or going through that situation because it has to be hard. And basically, yeah. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm gonna stop saying that our bodies, like, you know, a woman's body is hers, is hers, is hers. You know what I'm saying? Because the word of the Lord does say our bodies are not ours. You know what I'm saying? And I have to just say it back to myself again, off remembrance about things that, you know what I'm saying, our Lord says to us, because, you know, he may make certain moves that we may not understand.
Exactly.
Why is this happen? Why is this child born out of this type of thing and this, you know what I'm saying?
But one thing I want to say is God does not try anybody with evil. So
causing
a person like Like just like I heard one of those politicians say, it was meant to be.
No.
No.
Yeah.
This is what
I
they
remember
said.
that. Yeah,
they
yeah,
said
yeah.
God let it happen, so it was meant to be. I'm like,
See, everything
Like what?
Everything he even allow. Now, see, that's that type of a slick talk, meant to be. That just doesn't mind that that's meant to be. Really? Can he bless something that happened for evil and make it to be good? Yes, of course. But does he start something off as evil to make it like that? No. That's not the kind of God we talking about right here. We actually talking about the kind of God who actually had in plan for us to actually do nothing but just kick it and name animals and eat plants and stuff like that. In the beginning, that's how things was. But, man had his own place with those kind of things. But the God we talking about right now is not the dude who want to just walk around and make us go through terrible situations to see how good we come through them. That ain't the situation what we talking about right there. It's, these things that we get into, people are led by, it's some evil stuff going on down here, man. So it's a mixture of a whole lot of things, and we kind of forsaken what we don't know that much about God to even be talking about, does he want to do this and want to do that. We only bless what we can learn about him. But these things that happen with these abortion situations is something that, like I said from the beginning, it should have never been offered to society as an option for family, period. Whether you want to lessen the family, but you have people with agendas, man. And I'll be quiet after this, but there's an agenda right here, and they know what they is. There's a number after it too, and they want to decrease the population. They want different things to be going on anyway. They want people to feel guilty. They want people to feel like there is no family. It's just numbers and shit like that. So it's a lot of stuff to watch out for here, man. It's bigger than just that abortion clinic down there, that family planning pamphlet that you get.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's real. We should get Doc on the phone, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so yeah, as far as the reasons, because I've been hearing a lot of women, saying, we know y'all have rights. We know that's your body. But just because it's your body doesn't mean you have the right to do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, God created that body. You didn't create that body, and you didn't do all the creating in that child. There was a man there, but overall, there was God there who made it happen.
Period.
If he didn't make it happen, the baby would have never been conceived in the first place. So these are things we have to think about. I'm hearing women, this is my body, I can do what I want. Yeah, but no, it's not really.
You know what I'm saying, Cray Jack, man? I think I got the Doc on the phone, man, from over there in Jamaica, man. We're going to probably bring him on. You want to bring him on real quick?
Check it out, put him on the speaker. Doc, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
We all good, brother. How you doing this evening?
I'm alright, man. Just came in from work, just chilling.
Oh, cool, man. We on Truth Talk. You know what I'm saying? The truth is talking.
Yes, indeed, bro. So, we talking about this abortion issue that's been all over the news, been all over the TV everywhere, and being that you actually bring babies into the world, you deliver babies. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get your intake on the whole abortion thing, whether you're for it or against us, or how you feel about it.
Tell me your name, where you're from first, too.
Yes, indeed.
Dr. Daryl Daly from Kingston, Jamaica.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Firstly, it's a very controversial topic. It's one of these topics that we can argue for and against for years. Like one of these things, like what happens when we die? Are we going to go to heaven? Are we going to go to hell? Some people are going to have their beliefs, and some people are not going to have their beliefs. Right? So, I'm a Christian by nature, but I'm also a scientist by profession. So there's a thin line for me.
Okay.
Right? So I honestly believe that when it comes to, first of all, I listened to the interview earlier, and I heard you guys talking, and I have to agree with that first statement Krayzie said. Krayzie said that when a couple comes together to have sex, they have to be prepared for the consequences.
Exactly.
The consequences of unprotected sex are unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases. right?
Mm-hmm.
When two adults come together, everybody's going to say, we're going to get caught up with the moment and we're going to enjoy it. It's a great feeling. But what happens after that, right? What happens after that is a big risk that we'll have to take. And the older people get assigned is the less responsible they become. Right? Because I'm the person who is treating the sexually transmitted diseases. I'm the person the patients are coming to wanting to get abortions, even though I don't do them, right? But I'm the one that they're coming to. And, it's really sad because in 2019, with so much technology and how advanced we are, readily access to information, patients or people should not be wanting so much contraceptive options. People should not be getting unwanted and unplanned pregnancies. But that's another note. How I feel personally, I mean, when it comes to once a couple of adults have sex and they have sex, I heard what you said, Cray, about using it as a form of contraception. I'm against that, but I am one of the believers that think if the woman wants to terminate the pregnancy and she's adequately and thoroughly counseled about it by a professional, she has the right to do so. I have to disagree with you where the guy has any say in it. Yes, the guy gave 50% of it, but she is carrying the majority of the pregnancy, right? The guy just has quote-unquote bragging rights. And if he chooses to take on the pregnancy if he wants to. But I am the one. Remember, I'm a female healthcare provider. So I am the guy who is looking after the women.
Okay.
I know, and I honestly believe once a woman is thoroughly counseled, aware of the risks, the complications that can occur, right? She can go ahead and do it. Right? Separate and apart from incest and rape, because where I'm in Jamaica, abortion is illegal.
Okay.
The only time abortion is legal is if the mother's life is at risk. And there are certain conditions that if the mother has severe heart decompensation or she has cancer or something, those conditions you really don't want the mother to undergo because the mother is at risk of dying. So that's the only time in Jamaica abortion is legal, less than the first trimester, less than the first 13 weeks of pregnancy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky.
Yes, indeed.
I do believe the woman has the right, but she has to be educated. And when it's done, it has to be done by a professional and somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Very key point, because there's been a lot of botched abortions here in Jamaica. A lot of them, and we're the ones who have to correct them. It's terrible.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What are some of the, like you said, botched abortions? What are some of the after effects that women are walking around with after a botched abortion in Jamaica?
Well, not just in Jamaica generally, but a botched abortion is basically an untrained person doing an abortion. One of the worst case scenarios I've heard, the best time to do an abortion is within the first trimester or 11 weeks of pregnancy. After that, it's very, very difficult and it's not recommended, right? I remember when I was a couple of years ago, I heard about a young girl, 16 years old, and she was about 28 weeks pregnant. That's almost more than halfway through the pregnancy, entering her third trimester, and the doctor did an abortion. What he did essentially, he caused the uterus to open up, and the pregnancy went straight from the uterus and into the abdomen. And what happened? The girl was just bleeding out on the inside, and obviously the fetus died.
Oh wow!
What a crazy situation.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a crazy situation.
It's crazy, real crazy, bro.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, but yeah, hey, man, we thank you for calling in, man, giving your input. You know what I'm saying? It's another side to what we've been talking about. Definitely appreciate you, bro. And we will be calling you back. We have more topics like this, bro. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, man. No problem, man. Take care.
Thank you, bro.
Doc, y'all right
yes,
there,
indeed.
man. Dr. D.L. Daly, man.
Yeah, you had a very, very interesting standpoint on the situation.
That's way out, man.
Yeah, you know what
I
I'm
didn't
saying?
even know, you know what I'm saying, different things like that, different trimesters and things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. And I understand what he's saying. You know about what he said. I understand what he's saying, but I have to disagree with him when he says a man is he's just an onlooker and he's there for bragging rights. For bragging rights, I have to disagree because again, if you have a man that's doing what he's supposed, I can see that in a situation for dudes is like deadbeats or dudes is that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, if you have a man, because there are situations when you have a dude that doesn't want to get an abortion, but the female wants to get the abortion.
Right. You know
So then, like, just because the female is the one carrying it, I don't think that's how God intended it.
Hey, speaking of that, Crazy Bone, we got, a female on the phone right now named Portia.
Yes, indeed.
Calling in so she can.
Yes, indeed. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Everything is good. So, what's your outlook on this whole abortion thing and the women's rights and everything that's been going on TV?
Okay, so when the whole abortion law first came to be, I'm not going to lie, I was completely against it. But I've had time to really think about it, and after discussing it with a friend of mine, I decided to look for answers in my Bible. And, of course, abortion isn't a part of God's word. And even though it is a woman's right, I understand it necessarily doesn't make it right. But there's really one reason why I would support a woman having an abortion, and that's rape. Because me personally, I don't think I could get through a healthy pregnancy knowing how traumatic the cause of it was. But this is something I thought deeper into as well. It's not just about grown women getting pregnant by their rapists. What about the young girls who are experiencing this type of thing? How can anyone expect the child herself to carry a baby for 9 months? That was forced into her at that.
That's
it just
real.
doesn't seem right to me. But if women are out here just having unprotected sex with no care and get abortions because they don't want to be pregnant, that's just wrong. And I never sit here and judge someone for what they choose to do, but a life is a life at the end of the day, and God has the final say in what's right and wrong. And every choice we make will have to be taken up with him one day. But I will say this. Us women should be able to make our own decisions, and our rights should never be in the hands of a man. I'm just not with that at all. Yes, abortion isn't in God's word, but let me ask you this. Are these laws being made based off of what God thinks? I don't think so.
Oh, no.
I think they're being made because men just want to have control over women, and they think they know what's best for us, but they have no clue. And that's something I can't support.
That's real.
Hey, I definitely dig that.
Yeah. Hey, that is a definite interesting way on putting it. You know what I'm saying? That's very interesting, and I'm sure a lot of women and a lot of people in general will agree with you on that. You know what I'm saying?
Men made laws about, we said before, that women couldn't wear pants. What kind of law is
But,
that?
men still.
Men always have opinions on what women should and should not do, and I don't understand where they got the idea that what they think is what's best for us. I just don't understand that.
Oh yeah,
and I love a woman in jeans.
They've been out here abusing their power a whole lot.
Yeah.
Trust me.
He said women make less.
They've been out. Yeah,
less money.
Yeah, they've been out here doing that for a long time. But thank you for calling us. I mean, we called you, but thank you for giving us your input. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for calling Truth Talk. Thank you. All right. Yes, indeed. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? These are interesting outlooks and opinions. Yeah. And
good little weigh-ins, man.
I love to hear everybody how they feel, because this is a controversial issue. It has been going around a lot lately, and after we do this next call, I'm gonna get back on these the Vamp Squad, because they'll be over here. I see a lot of people raising some issues, but I'm gonna get y'all.
What they saying, face?
I'm gonna get at you. I'm gonna get at you as soon as we get this next call on the line.
What someone will say? Have to collect
the
top 10 of the.
No, but I ain't. You know what? I ain't.
Vamp Squad go in.
Yeah, but I think what I gotta say, I should say that for another another show. Because we get real serious. But yeah, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We talking about this this whole abortion thing. A lot of people seem to think they have the rights to do it. The other people think that they don't have a right to do it. We asking y'all what y'all think. So Keef G,
talk to me.
Would you ever have an abortion?
Would I?
Or make a girl have an abortion?
That's what I was saying before.
This microphone
that we had on the situation before. It was a terrible thing.
Get this mic
and
together.
Yes. You know
what
saying?
You would?
No, not would. I have done that. Like I said before.
Okay. So you had. Okay. So come on, talk about this.
I've had.
Now wait a minute. He's the culprit. He's the culprit.
Yeah, I'm one of the ones.
Okay, so
I'm one of those dudes that was like.
So you
that
had
was
a woman.
Terrible thing to have did.
So you had a girl have an abortion.
Yeah.
What was the reason?
I mean, the reason, it was no reason at all. It was the stupidest reasons in the world. Just like what we're saying right now. There is no reason for it. The only reason we did was just for some cowardice. You know what I'm saying? Some things that you're thinking of when you're too young to be even dealing with something like sexual activity, because we think sex is just laying down. This is almost if you could touch magic, this is the closest thing we have to magic. Because when two people lay down, and if you stay there long enough, three people are going to be there. You know what I'm saying? This is the closest thing we have to that.
I ain't never heard it broke down like that.
So when you do this thing like this, and you're messing with this kind of power.
Nigga broke it down.
When you mess with this kind of power that you're too young for, that you're uneducated for, that people don't really, you know what I'm saying, like your older people that in your life don't say, hey man, watch out for this sexual thing. Like I told you before, your older people in your life, your older dudes, your uncles, your cousins, and this and that, they say, hey, man, is you getting some this and that? This is promoted. This ain't something that's like saying go in with caution and go in with safety. Of course, from the church it is. From the church standpoint it is, but we only go to church once a week. You know what I'm saying? Other than Bible study or something like that, so you may have 2 times a week versus you 4 or 6 more days a week. You're out there with people in this world, your friends, your uncles, your people. Is you getting some? Forgive my language. You getting some pussy, boy? That's what's promoted to you. Forgive my language of that, because I want my mother to listen to this show and different women to hear this show. I want you to hear it with your kids. So blank that kind of thing out. But what I'm saying, this is from a male's point of view. It's like conquer. So this is the kind of things that's going on. So yes, of course, man, I had did this, and then they induced a cleanup program called abortion. That's what's given to a young person's mind to be like, you can get rid of this whole mess right now, because you don't want nobody feeling like, you know, you should have you did this too early or this and that. You can't take care of this financially. Hell, where we come from, our parents barely taking care of us. How are we gonna bring another one in there too? And I'm not saying that's no escape route, because a lot of people do bring another one in there. They got 9 people in there. They bring in a 10th one too, and they keep it. I commend you all for that kind of thing. But for this, personally with me, this is one of the wrongest decisions I've ever made to participate in abortion, because I really didn't look at it as life like that way, but I should have looked at it like life that way, because who am I to even try and make that decision? Or even to coerce a girl to, hey, man, let's do it like this. And sometimes the girl be like, shoot, they beat you to the clinic. I'm about to do this because we doing it like this, and I can't go like that way. All I'm saying, this should never have been an option by any civilized society. There should never even be a building erected to facilitate something like this. Never.
So with all being said, like we said, I bag away from the whole situation where a female gets raped, and you know, that's the whole synopsis of the situation. You know, because like I said, I still believe what God says, but again, I sympathize with that, and it's a tough one, bro, because you know, like just like she said, you know what I'm saying, the caller said, you know what I'm saying, that woman has to go 9 months with the dread of thinking about this baby, thinking about how it's going to turn out, thinking about just everything that comes with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everything that comes with it. You know, just thinking about everything that comes with it. But with all that being said, and I saw some people on here saying, you know what I'm saying, that sex is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's not a game. It's not a game. It wasn't meant to be a game. It was meant to be something that adults, full-grown, responsible adults take part in. Yes. Not children, not teenagers. Honestly, to keep it 100, and people really gonna be mad at me, but why do you think the whole marriage arrangement was ooh, man, did I hit a button and mess something up? No, why do you think the whole marriage arrangement was created?
Yeah.
You know, and why do you think? And should we get into that? We got another caller on the phone right now.
Caller,
Hello.
tell us what's your name and where you from. We talking about this here on Truth Talk.
I'm gonna get back to that in a minute.
Hey, it's Odyssey, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
What's going on, Odyssey? How you doing?
Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm doing good.
So you know, we talking about this whole abortion issue that's going on everywhere now, all over the news everywhere. I'm sure you done heard about it. So I just want to get your input and see how you felt about the whole thing.
Well, I mean, for myself, I don't believe in abortion, but I also don't believe the intent of the bill is really to, like they're saying, save kids and things of that nature. I think it's really there to police women's bodies, because if that was the case, then why do we have 700,000 kids in the foster care system? If you're really concerned about kids' lives and you're really concerned about, the well-being of, these babies before they're, even born, then why aren't you doing something about the foster care epidemic? And why is, Viagra funded, which nobody's talking about, the men's part in it. I think it's wrong in 2019 to still be telling a woman what to do with her body.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and this is why I wanted, like different people to call in together, because it's much different than what me and you may say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's good to hear all these outlooks, because they all made some pretty valid points.
Oh, you talking about 700,000 kids, and she just told us about 700,000 kids in foster care. So if you care about so many of these unborn kids, what happens to these kids then?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct.
I never looked at it like that.
So you say you're against the abortion, but you just don't feel like they're doing it. I mean, that's basically what we just said. They didn't just all of a sudden find God and want to change their ways. You know what I'm saying? That's not the reason they're doing it. They have an agenda, like you said, Keith.
Oh, yes.
They have an agenda, and they're going to push their agenda by any means necessary.
Yes.
No matter who they impose they laws on. Like, it could be they good imposers. Real talk.
Right, and then they're not even considering the fact that if a woman gets raped, if it's like a young girl, incest and all these situations where, you really have to examine what is it going to cost to even bring that child to life, and the psychological, effects of the other person. I just think that it's just about an agenda, and and that's what it is. And
then so if a person get raped by a family member and they get pregnant, that don't the baby come out with with complications? Yeah.
Mongoloid stuff.
Right, exactly. So I'm like this is what y'all want to happen too? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact, like you said, I'm against it, but I know they're not doing it, again, because they done found God. So we know they're doing it for their own personal reasons, and they'll pay for that too.
Oh yeah.
Real talk. Definitely.
It is a part of that agenda, like she's saying, like Agenda 21 to be exact. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all look that up on your own.
Obviously, thank you for calling us, man, giving us your input. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yes, indeed, man.
Atlanta, Georgia, man.
No, but like I said, it's good to get it, to get other people's input, because me and you talking, it could seem like it's
a little biased to what's going on.
Yeah, it's
in favor of our thing.
It's cool. It's cool to get everybody's input. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I still feel how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And it's just something I feel like, man, it's so deep to get through this world, to get through this world, you have to have a mental that's so sharp.
Shit.
You got to have a mental that's so sharp. Everything ain't gonna bounce off of you. It's gonna be some blows you're gonna take gonna bring you to your knees.
What a stomach blow!
But you gotta have a mental so sharp and so seasoned. And you got to have a knowledge. You got to have that. You got to have a knowledge of knowing your purpose in life. Why your not only your purpose but God's purpose.
Yeah.
Now I see a lot of people. I hear a lot of people on here talking about, oh yeah, but man wrote the Bible. God didn't write the Bible.
Look here, man.
Man wrote the Bible. We talk about this all the time, and I'm gonna say the same thing I always say, because I have people say, oh, the white man wrote the Bible. You're giving the white man
a little bit,
way too much credit.
Too much.
You're giving them way too much credit. So, if the white man wrote the Bible, do you think he would have actually wrote the book and told us that in the end of all this, they die?
Yeah.
If they were trying to keep us hypnotized and under their control, would they tell us in this book that they actually lose and die?
Word.
I don't think so. I don't think now, if you believe that God is all powerful like he said he is, if you don't believe that he can influence people to write it for him.
Exactly.
God was the ghost writer.
Or
he was the ghost writer.
Or could you believe somebody is powerful enough?
Right.
More powerful than God to tamper
because
with
you
his
do
word.
know in the end they lose.
Yeah. Who gonna write that story about themselves?
I don't think they would write that if they were trying to keep us up under their power.
Nah.
But a whole nother note.
I like the way you look at that face.
A whole nother note. You're not gonna get through this world if your mental is not sharpened. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this world gonna throw everything at you, bro. It's gonna break you down. I'm talking about all the way that I done seen people broken down to the very last compound.
Kill, steal, destroy.
Broken down to the very last compound.
Remember
you know
that.
what I'm saying? But they came back.
Yeah.
They came back. You know, because it's hard for me to even tell people because people are already off the rip. I heard somebody on here say that God is not always there.
Oh, man.
But have you always looked for God?
He's not just always there. He's there before it's even always for him to even be there. You know what I'm saying? There's no place that he ever would bring us to, and there's nothing he would even ask a human person to do that he wouldn't even do.
Yeah, we could talk about this all night.
See, he excluded from these things. I ain't gonna talk along with it. He's excluded. See, we ain't the one. He ain't on trial for not being who he says he is. We the ones on trial for not being who we was created to be.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? He never not did what he was supposed to do. We the ones who did what we wasn't supposed to do. And then we try to make our own sense of it. So here you have a human race here. Try to be an intelligent man. An intelligent man trying to talk to an all-knowing God, cut it out.
It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So back to the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? I guess in this world we live in, the pretty much thing is to each his own.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel good, you do it.
Yeah. When in Rome.
When in Rome.
Yeah, that type of shit we want to put on philosophy.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But as far as this thing, you know, I guess you take out of this conversation what you get from it. Everybody gonna have their own assumptions, their own oh yeah, and we gonna have some more discussions about what's what because y'all done took us there tonight.
Oh yeah.
But this ain't the show to talk about it, but we gonna come back.
I just hope a lot of young
This is the
ladies
first
listen.
time I actually this is the first time I actually did the Periscope with this Truth Talks. We usually just do it for the Cray list.
Yeah.
But I see we should start doing this and maybe get some of y'all on the Vamp Squad to call up and have some engage in some conversation for us.
Hell yeah. Hey, the Vamp Squad is awesome, man. Hey, winter or summer, Vamp Squad's with us, man. That's real as jail talk there.
And like I said, man, I'm going to tell y'all this before we get up out of here because, you know what I'm saying, it's truth. And I don't care how many people tell you it's not or how many of y'all don't believe. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going to be revealed one day. It's all going to be revealed. One day it is. I don't care if you think it's all a movie or who wrote the Bible or God don't exist, the devil ain't real. Yeah. It's just too much evidence. It's too much evidence that y'all probably ain't looked at. The majority of people who said that the Bible contradicted itself or the Bible wasn't written by God, I find that these people have never even read the Bible.
Yeah.
They sit up and listen to what other people say, and they just repeat it. But couldn't tell you one scripture in the Bible. Couldn't tell you one scripture in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's like the most it's the most convenient excuse to excuse yourself from being responsible. That's the most convenient. Oh, man wrote that. I ain't gonna listen to that.
Exactly.
I ain't
Exactly.
Gonna do that. Okay. Yeah, but just remember that I'm telling you this. You know what I'm saying? Now, like people could look at me like, and I'm not saying that I'm gonna make it. Because right now, it's my life. If the end of the world was to come, is my life intact? No, it ain't. But I'm just saying, I know it's going to go. I know something is going to happen, whether I got my life together or not.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't scared to admit that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, just because human beings give us certain freedoms to do something, if it seems immoral, you know, human beings say it's cool to drink and get drunk.
Yeah.
That ain't what God say.
Sure ain't.
Human beings say in some states prostitution is legal.
Hey, that's what I said. They said
that
Vegas.
Ain't what God say. Human beings say it's cool to live with a person you ain't married to. It's cool. Common law wife. That's not what God say.
Word.
So, again, like I'm saying, there is a difference. There is a difference. You can think what you want to think and listen to these people who say, oh, don't believe that. Live your life. Live your life. But get the best out of it. Especially if you're living just for this world. You better get the best out of it because this is your reward and it's full.
Word, man.
This is your reward and it's full.
Dog, we got to talk about that too on another show, man.
And, man, you know what I'm saying? And if, man, the wise thing to do for women, and not only men, because like we said, men, y'all are part of this, the wise thing to do is if you ain't ready to make a baby, to have a baby, then don't lay down and have unprotected sex. To jump up and be like, oh, I'm not ready to have a baby. Because this is stuff that should have been determined before you had the baby. Now you got a baby that's about to be killed, didn't get a chance to be whoever that child was going to be, all because we were selfish and indulged in pleasing ourselves.
Selfish.
You know what I'm saying?
Self-pleasure.
That it's really not cool when you think about that.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? All those other reasons we talked about, besides a woman being raped to me, are invalid.
Yep.
That's how I feel. They are invalid.
And I'm telling you, from a dude that did the situation, like we said earlier, it's invalid, partner. It was from a young. It doesn't matter what type of time, and it's just it ain't valid. It shouldn't have been taught. It shouldn't have been taught that it's okay. It's not okay. On the reals, it's just not okay, man. Some things is okay. this something that's not okay. Because a little boy or a little girl should be able to go grow up and play.
And man, you know, with that being said, we thank y'all for joining us on this episode this evening. Truth Talks. Make sure you join us for the next one. Tell everybody about it. Make sure you go to radio.com and subscribe to the Truth Talks. Tell your friends. We have conversations like this all the time.
Radio.com.
And remember, the truth is always talking.
You just gotta listen.
Shut up and listen.
You just gotta listen.